Os presentamos a Samira, la rosa del desierto. De joven se labró una reputación entre las tropas de Noxus por completar fácilmente misiones peligrosas. Es una pistolera y una espadachina, con un estilo sin igual.
Me llamo Samira. Procurad no frenarme.
¿Podréis seguirle el ritmo? Os damos la bienvenida al expositor de Samira. La pasiva de Samira es impulso temerario. Con 2 pistolas y una espada, Samira golpea a distancia o cuerpo a cuerpo y cambia de arma automáticamente cuando ataca. Cuando Samira golpea a un campeón enemigo, acumula estilo desde el rango E hasta el S. Cada ataque debe ser diferente al anterior para que se añada al combo. Enlazad ataques básicos y habilidades para acumular estilo. Cuanto más tengáis, más rápido os moveréis. Alcanzad el rango S para activar la definitiva. Si Samira abandona el combate, el estilo se reinicia poco después.
Nunca paso de moda.
Además, si marca como objetivo a un enemigo afectado por CC severo en su alcance de ataque, lo lanzará por los aires y realizará una ráfaga de disparos a la vez. La Q de Samira es clase, y de eso tiene de sobra. Realiza un disparo que impacta contra el primer enemigo. Si el enemigo está cuerpo a cuerpo, Samira golpea con su espada. Este ataque puede asestar golpes críticos para infligir mucho daño adicional. Su W, giro de espada, tiene una pasiva que otorga daño adicional a su espada. Cuando se activa, Samira esgrime su espada con maestría y gira en círculo, inflige daño y destruye los proyectiles enemigos en la zona. Hacia un lado, Yasuo, llega la reina de la frustración. Con su E, carrera salvaje, se desliza a través de un aliado o un enemigo y golpea a los rivales. Con un asesinato o asistencia, se reinicia el enfriamiento y puede volver a entrar o salir del combate.
Caótico, pero efectivo.
Activad clase junto a carrera salvaje para infligir daño adicional o usad giro de espada antes de deslizaros para salvar a un aliado. Podéis ponerlo en su cuenta.
Quédate el cambio, que te va a hacer falta.
¿Os acordáis del rango de estilo? Cuando Samira consigue rango S, puede lanzar su definitiva, gatillo infernal. Libera una tormenta de ataques que golpean en una zona a su alrededor varias veces durante unos segundos. Pueden ser golpes críticos y activar robo de vida, pero no efectos de impacto. Un CC severo finalizará la definitiva. Buscad el momento adecuado para el pium pium.
¡Me voy a tomar un descanso!
Como Samira siempre está buscando pelea, este hechizo no tiene enfriamiento. Cuando tenga estilo suficiente, estará listo de nuevo.
Ni siquiera estaba mirando.
Samira se luce cuando entra y sale de las peleas, cuando se lanza en el momento perfecto. En la fase de calles derrota con estilo a enemigos que dependen de tiros de habilidad. Podéis lograr jugadas espectaculares en la calle inferior con un apoyo de iniciación. Samira brilla en los combates de equipo. Acumulad estilo enlazando autoataques entre una habilidad y otra. Gatillo infernal interrumpe giro de espada, así que pulsad la W para conseguir una última acumulación y rematad con gatillo infernal. Con un alcance tan corto y solo una herramienta de escape, elegir bien las peleas es la diferencia entre vivir o morir.
¿Has venido hasta aquí a morir?
Tened cuidado al utilizar carrera salvaje. Entrar en mal momento contra el objetivo equivocado puede convertir a Samira en Samatao.
Relaja, pastelito.
¿Queréis presumir de estilo en la calle inferior? Jugad con Samira, la rosa del desierto. Mirad los enlaces para saber más sobre esta estilosa tiradora. Bueno, ¿a quién le apetece una pizza?
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan, and I'm here to teach you how to play Riot's new board game, Tellstone's King's Gambit. Tellstones is a competitive game of bluffing and memory for 2 or 4 players. Players take turns taking one of 6 actions until either someone wins by reaching 3 points, or a player resolves a boast, for better or worse. To play Tellstones, you'll need the 7 stones, a playmat, 2 score counters, and 2 player reference cards. First, place the playmat between both players. Put a random stone face up in the center of the playmat. This is called the line, and it's where the gameplay happens. Next, put the remaining stones face up where both players can reach them. This is called the pool. Then, place 1 score marker next to each score track, and give each player a player reference card. Finally, randomly determine the first player. There are 6 actions in Tellstones. For many of them, you will tell your opponent what to do. The first action is place. Indicate which stone in the pool you want your opponent to add to one of the ends of the line and which side. Your opponent must place the selected stone in the selected location. The second action is hide. Indicate which stone on the line you want your opponent to flip from face up to face down, and your opponent will flip it. A face down stone is considered hidden. The third action is swap. Indicate 2 stones on the line, and your opponent must swap their positions. If a stone was face up before the swap, it stays face up after the swap. The same is true if the stone was hidden. The fourth action is challenge. Choose one of the hidden stones. Your opponent must guess the symbol on that hidden stone. The stone is then flipped face up to reveal the symbol. If your opponent correctly guessed the symbol on the stone, they score a point. If they were wrong, you score a point. The stone remains face up until it's hidden again with the hide action. The fifth action is peek. You privately look at one of the hidden stones and return it to the same place on the line. However, if your opponent scored a point during your last turn or during their last turn, you can peek it up to 3 stones instead. The sixth action is boast. When you boast, tell your opponent that you know the entire line. They now have 3 choices. First, they can say, "I believe you." If they do, you score 1 point and play continues as normal. Second, they can say, "Prove it." Now you have to correctly name every hidden stone in the line one at a time in any order, revealing them as you go. If you get them all right, you immediately win the game. If you get even one wrong, your opponent wins. Either way, game over. Finally, they can steal the boast by saying they know all the stones too. Now you have to choose between the 2 options I just laid out. You can either give them a point, or let them name every stone with the same stakes. They win if they get every stone right, and they lose if they get even one wrong. Your player reference card lists the 6 actions and the 7 stones in case you forget. It also has your boast options on the back. You can also play Tellstones with 4 players. In this variant, teammates sit diagonally across from one another so as to have an opponent sitting next to them. Setup is the same, and play proceeds clockwise. Since this is a joint effort, teammates may talk to one another at any time. However, they must always speak openly so everyone at the table can hear. Some actions are slightly altered in this variant. When you instruct the opposing team to place, swap, or hide, the opponent to your left will carry out the action. Challenges and boasts now target a team, but the opponent on the player's left will ultimately decide how their team will respond. During a peek action, a player may let their teammate look at a stone. And if an opponent just scored a point, the player and their teammate may look at up to 3 stones between them. Boasts are completed by teammates taking turns naming hidden stones. Whoever initiated or stole the boast goes first. That's it. You're now ready to play Tellstones. Good luck and have fun.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
I'm Andrew.
And we're back with the mid-set video update. Today, we'll be talking about the next expansion, Monuments of Power, and giving you an update on some cool stuff heading your way before the end of the year.
Let's dive right in. First off, a big welcome to all the new and returning players who joined the game during Call of the Mountain.
We've had a great time seeing your new Targon-inspired builds, whether you're soaking in the sunlight
Or bringing down the mountain with Aurelian Soul. But the journey to Targon isn't over yet. Another expansion is coming in just 2 weeks.
Our new release schedule has fresh cards coming at you every 2 months, with a big expansion that introduces a new region every 6 months.
Our hope is that you find something new you're excited to try with each expansion. In that spirit, today we're kicking off the Monuments of Power reveal with an entirely new card type, Landmarks.
With Call of the Mountain, the theme of climbing the iconic Mount Targon got us excited to explore other locations and wonders throughout Runeterra.
We thought these cards could exist in a different design space than other card types, with a mix of new mechanics as well as cool, lore-based concepts.
Let's take a look at our first Monuments of Power reveal, and the first ever landmark, the Vaults of Helia.
Landmarks are cast with regular mana and take up space on the board, but you won't be using them to attack, block, or take damage. Instead, each landmark has a unique, ongoing effect that can shape the entire game.
For example, at the start of each round, the Vaults of Helia sacrifice your strongest unit to summon another from your deck that's 1 cost more.
Landmarks aren't units, so only certain cards will be able to interact with them. However, a few existing Call of the Mountain cards will have their text updated to affect landmarks, like Falling Comet and Singular Will.
For Monuments of Power, we're focusing on big, flashy landmarks, but their design is flexible enough that we can make smaller, even common landmarks in the future. Many will reshape the game in totally unique ways and encourage you to build entire decks around them. In addition to the next expansion, we also have another event coming up. Let's talk about what went well with our first big event, Spirit Blossom, and what we're continuing to improve for the next one.
The Spirit Blossom Festival was a huge success. We got a lot of positive feedback around the Spirit theme and the Bestow Lab, and we saw a ton of players participating to unlock the various event rewards.
I also appreciate seeing the Spirit Blossom emotes make it to the top tier of many emote power rankings.
To be honest, that was the only reason we did the event.
We set out to create new cosmetic content that was worth collecting, and high-quality ways to personalize their Legends of Runeterra experience. Spirit Blossom has also encouraged us to continue investing in events and cosmetics, and see if we can make each one something you don't want to miss.
Our next event will be similar to Spirit Blossom, but we're also looking to make some adjustments based on your feedback. We saw that some players felt like the optimal way to complete quests was to grind out a bunch of games, or they felt like a reward was just out of reach because they missed a day or 2 of wins. So for the next event, we'll be improving quests, daily win bonuses, and even the rewards you get along the way.
As for the theme, the next event will have a very different tone than the Spirit Blossom Festival. That's all we can say for now, but the exact date and more details are coming soon.
We have a few quick updates that didn't really fit anywhere else. So now it's time for the lightning round.
What?
Go, 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 go!
Okay, what's the deal with Spectator?
In November, we're launching the initial version of Spectator. Watch your friends play in real time in any game with just a click. Eventually, we'll evolve this feature into a full-fledged Spectator mode to support tournaments and esports. Next question.
Any news on cosmetics for cards?
We're working on multiple types of card cosmetics. They aren't ready yet, but here's a quick look at the first type, which are called card styles. Card styles are cosmetic upgrades that can be earned for every card in Legends of Runeterra. You can focus on just unlocking styles for your faves, or go for a totally blinged out collection. More news on the other types of card cosmetics coming out at the start of 2021. Next.
Last question, what is that and where can I get one?
It's a baby Infernal Drake. His name is Charlie, and he is mine.
Oh man.
But you can get yours next patch, I guess.
Awesome.
And that's it for the lightning round. But we've got one last announcement before we go. Seasonal tournaments.
Seasonal tournaments are, you guessed it, tournaments that happen at the end of each season. They're designed to be the apex of competition in Legends of Runeterra, exclusively for the best of the best and run fully in-game.
Over 1,000 players in each global region will be able to compete. But to qualify, you'll need to either be one of the top-ranked players on your server, or one of the first players to complete the final gauntlet. which takes into account your performance in previous gauntlets throughout the season.
The goal is to have a couple different ways for competitive players to earn a spot in each tournament. Some players can put in lots of hours and climb their way to the top. Others might have less time to dedicate, but the skill to pull off difficult consecutive wins. Either way, if you've got the skill, you've got a shot.
We'll share much more information about how to qualify and compete in another video. All you need to know right now is that the first tournament will take place at the end of the upcoming Monuments of Power season, around the second week of December. So if you plan to qualify through ranked, start building those decks and practicing those matchups right now.
Whether you're climbing high in ranked or owning the arena in gauntlets, we want it to matter to you when you make it to the top.
Seasonal tournaments are the ultimate way to prove you're the best in the card slinging biz. They're also the next step we're taking to build a path to professional play and a thriving competitive scene.
Stay tuned at the start of next year for an update on the future of competitive Legends of Runeterra.
We're almost at the end of the year, but there's still tons more to come. We've got 2 expansions, another event, and seasonal tournaments all headed your way in the next couple months.
We're trying to bring you as much awesome stuff as we can before the end of 2020. As we said before, you can expect everything mentioned in these videos to grow and evolve over time. So we'll be looking to the Legends of Runeterra community for feedback as we go.
Keep an eye out for more details on the upcoming event and seasonal tournaments. But in the meantime, look forward to some exciting new cards and strategies in the Monuments of Power expansion.
Thanks for watching.
Hay gente que le gusta más Netflix y otra HBO, y a mí me gustas tú.